these laws and as we lay down these laws and, just looking for the best ways, to live our lives as a unified community, from, every state from the Republic to our indigenous jurisdiction, excuse me. So just excuse me, pardon me. But I'm down in South Florida, originally from New York. So as you can see on the screen here. And just anybody got any other questions, during or afterwards, just reach out. Um, and we're here to network and build.
All right, appreciate you, Chief Minister Manny Bay, and he has been doing a wonderful job with his ministry. I like to call him the Gabble of our group. He's the evil, the single-minded, always ready, always comfortable, always thinking of the next solution for our group. So I like to think of him as the judge, the Gabble.
Appreciate that. And we got the website up too. I forgot to mention the ARNAcommunityculture.org, as you see on there too. You can check it out. And if anybody in the community has any events going on, you could just reach out to me. We can post it up on there. Something that's official with it and is related to what we're doing with the tribe,
about that kind of stuff.
Up and running.
We're gonna vote with the target now. We're gonna vote with the target now.
If you peace family, if you are not a presenter, please go on mute. We don't want to interrupt any of our ministers going. All right, cool. So thank you, Minister Manny Bay. I wanted to make sure that I put the website in the actual chat for those of you who are at home so that you can be able to get access to the minister's great work. It looks like Naima is still trying to work her way in. Who looks pretty sitting down. Minister Yogi is the first person up to my left. You ready, brother?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I could go.
All right. Let me get your screen up.
All right. Awesome. Peace, family. Chief Minister Yogi Alukun. I live in Region 6, Hawaii, San Antonio, Texas. And so my ministry is the Ministry of Cosmology and Spirituality. And so running cosmology, for the most part, people know Dr. Ali brought back our cosmology sister as one of the many first things he learned that helped bring about ARNA. And so running cosmology, I hope to strengthen the department, aiming to inspire universal peace and harmony and unite Aboriginal Indigenous peoples in the world. And so we're also looking to promote joy and hope and, be a beacon of that, and also, help the communities learn themselves. One of the main parts I enjoy about the cosmology is teaching people about the book of them. And that's one of the main things I enjoy. And then also building teams and just helping the Congress with anything that needs to be done to be resourceful and things of that nature. If you need to email me, my email is up there too as well. If you ever need advice, reading, or events, or anything to look into.
Got one more minute. Anything else to add, Yogi?
That's about it right now on my mind as far as my thoughts.
All right, thank you, brother. We are going to go into our next section. Excuse me. I see Minister Jael. You ready, brother?
Oh, yes, I am.
All right, you are up.
Okay, cool. So, good evening, everyone. Chief Minister Jael here. I am in Region 3, Yamasee, hailing through Clemson, South Carolina, which is not far. It's about 30 minutes away from Greenville, South Carolina. And today we have a focus with our ministry, just highlighting our various objectives, and many of which are going to involve being able to advocate and implement more awareness within our communities as it relates to healthy foods and educating our children and educating families and things of that nature. So that's going to be like one of our concentrations. But as a ministry or a ministerial council, our focus is also going to cover. There's one other thing that I wanted to acknowledge. Oh yeah, so just medicine, agriculture, childbirth, home economics, chemistry, biology, botany, zoology, along with animal husbandry. And so I think later on we'll get a little bit further with each ministry elaborating more on these sectors that we're concentrated in. But that's our ministerial council on health, and look forward to sharing more with you. I yield. If there isn't anything else that I should be saying, like if you want to reach out to me, my email, I'll drop that in the chat. I didn't have the slide updated here. Yeah, if y'all have any questions, just let us just shoot me an email. We actually have our second ministry meeting coming up sometime next week. You know, all of us have been involved with fall legislation, and just preparing ourselves for that and getting through that. So each one of the ministries are definitely going to be picking up the ball there with moving forward on our committee meetings.
Thank you, brother. And we'll be able to get a chance to talk about our committees in a few. But we are going to go ahead and move to the next minister. Do we have brother Jahi on today?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you, and I can
Am I
see
clear?
you, brother. You are
Am I
clear.
clear?
You
I
are
bet.
crystal, my brother. Crystal. Can I
Yes,
go ahead and
sir.
put your PowerPoint up?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you. One moment. What just happened? Oh, the feds is really trying to stop Outshine. All right, here we go. It's up now.
Okay, for sure, for sure. Hello, family. Hello, tribe. I'm Chief Minister Jahi Tupac Amarushi, and I'm the Minister of International Affairs and Communications. I'm currently in Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia, Region 3. You could reach me at jobbricks@gmail.com. I consider myself a polymath. I'm also a certified Indigenous doctor and jurist as well. I chose to become a minister of communication because it aligned with my identity and skill set of being the voice of the Aboriginal community. My goal is to expand the Indigenous paradigm locally and globally through content creation, social media, organized debates, and music. I will work with each ministry to amplify their voices and visibility. That's a little summary of basically what I have to offer to the tribe through my ministry. Also, I'm working on various projects that I definitely need help on. So if anybody is interested in joining my ministry and my cabinet and helping me with it, I will definitely look forward to that. You could just reach me at the email that I got right there. Also, I'm just give you a summary of what I'm working on, that we could go further in depth. And if anybody have questions, we could go we could go based on that as well. So right now I'm working on a debate league. And what I'm gonna need for that is I'm gonna need some good top-notch researchers that's real skilled in current events and just, you know, that's in the know of what's going on currently, trending topics, things of that nature. Also, I'm looking for a video editor. We have somebody that's nice at, you know, taking clips together and putting them together seamlessly. I'm looking for that as well. Also, we're going to be working on just contacting other tribes that's doing their things and you know, basically being a collective with other indigenous tribes that's trying to do their thing as far as just move this whole paradigm forward. Media in general, like, you know, not just social media, but also films, documentaries, things of that nature. We're going to be working on that as well. And also one of my roles is going to be just connecting with like the United Nations and things of that nature. So that's just pretty much a summary of what we're going to be getting into.
All right, all right. Appreciate you, brother Jahi. See who else we got. Do we have Minister Washak on board today?
Yes, peace, peace. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now, brother. I am going to go on mute. You ready to yield to you?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Peace, family. Greetings. My name is Chief Minister Washak Shiamaru Ali. I am the Chief Minister of Arts and Culture. Right now, I'm outside of Yamasee Region 3. That's Hawab Sharik, and in particular, I'm in Charleston. My email, if anybody needs to reach me, is washakali08 or 08 @gmail.com. My current positions right now that I hold for work and employment and just livelihood. I am a steel pan orchestra and music director in North Charleston, and I'm currently a track and field coach as well. So I'll give you a brief summary about why I joined the tribe and my purpose in the ministry. I officially began my journey as a national in ARNA in 2020. COVID got me a little scared, so I can go ahead and ran up in here. I aspired to run for my current role as Chief Minister of Arts and Culture after receiving guidance from a cosmologist within our tribe. It was suggested that I would be an ideal representative, so I took the position, embraced it, and ever since then I found it as a calling and a duty. My ultimate goal is to preserve and celebrate our Indigenous heritage by creating spaces for artistic expression, building programs that connect our traditions to everyday life, and establishing lasting cultural institutions that strengthen our community's identity. And some of the projects that I'm currently working on that's going to help just help us with our identity and expression in the everyday life as we go through some of the things that got passed into law and some of my projects. We got, sporting events coming up. We have what do you call it? Summer camps that I want to do in the summertime. So just basically taking the every day-to-day things we do in our other lives when we were 14th Amendment citizens, like sports, camps, just cultural things, and making it our own and representing that in a big way. So that's my goal for the ministry, and look forward to talking to y'all soon.
Great job, brother. Great job, brother. All right. Let's keep it rolling. Let's keep it rolling. Do we have Minister Akil Shabazz here? Minister Akil, Civics, Government, and Corporations. All right, cool. If we don't have Minister Akil here yet, I'll go ahead and jump in here. Family, what up, what up, what up? I am Brother Minister Balloons Zahir Amaru. I serve as the Minister of New Age Technology and Science, and I also serve as the President of the Council. I have not gotten a chance to say this formally outside of just quick our first post online. I want to first thank you all, nationals who were a part of the process a few years ago and voted us all in, and specifically voted me to be able to help lead the council. I am honored and I am grateful to be able to have this opportunity. I am in Baltimore, Maryland. I am in Region 2. And my email for the ministry is honorscitech@gmail.com. You can also reach me at the ARNA Ministerial Congress email. That is a shared email between me and the communication ministry. However, if you do reach out, you will be able to reach either me or Brother Jahi. Now, my focus has been given to me by the tribe, by the tribe itself, by actual Ali. And that is to make sure that our citizens are empowered with essential skills and knowledge for the modern world in regards to technology, right? And that could be anything from making sure they're proficient with computers, phones, clouds, various applications that make sense for our tribal evolution, but also what are the new earth sciences that allow us to improve how we build agriculture? If anybody knows what I do in my everyday business, I am not only just a solar developer, but we have our own solar manufacturing business. So I'm also looking to see what does EPC or what does a tribe building its own panels look like and be able to build up our GDP that way. But also other innovative home technologies and safety down to how can we create our arms through our actual ministry as well. I've been tasked to get a little bit more specific within our committees, but we'll discuss that later. But this is the overall focus for me within my first 4 years, and hopefully we'll be able to get a lot done. And I look forward to possibly coming back and to continue to evolve this work. So that is my ministry. Chief Minister Naima, are you available?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, without a problem.
Can you hear me?
Yes, without a problem.
Okay, because everybody is frozen on my end.
Well, you're fine. So as long as you talk cool and
Okay, all
calm,
right.
we ain't even gonna know.
And okay. Can you reload the document? Because I had text here. Hear me?
Why is this? As y'all know, ARNA is doing some great things,
Am I
and we
there?
meet every 2 weeks, right? I never have a problem with this until now. Give me 1 second. Stop share. Exit. All right. There we go.
Oh, okay. This is like going crazy. This is like going crazy for me.
You can start, Naima, is up.
Can you hear me? Yeah. Hello?
We can hear you now. Yes.
Come back to me in a minute. I'm having to keep, I don't know, keep dropping my connection. It keeps freezing. I can't
Okay.
turn on. So I'm trying to move around different rooms. So give me 1 more second. My apologies. I don't know what's going on.
All right. Thank you, sister. We are going to move along. All right. Do we have Mr. Akil, Brother Akil? All right, Minister Yashiyahu. Did we already catch you, brother? I'm sorry if I am doubling down on you. Did we already get you?
Greetings. Are you referring to me?
Yes, sir. Did you go?
No, sir.
All right, so now we have Minister Yashiyahu up, ladies and gentlemen, for his 3 minutes within his ministry. You got the floor.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I am the Minister of Education for the Indigenous government of ARNA. I'm uniquely equipped with intuition, guidance, and passion for teaching. I'm dedicated to constructing seamless online education processes for all ARNA officials and affiliates. So that's to reflect on our values and our culture. So if you read my cards, I'm a queen of clubs, I'm an ace of spades, and I'm a 5 of clubs. So I am actually literally in my purpose. So I strive to innovate and elevate our educational standards. Of course, you know, we have high educational standards, ensuring inclusive and impactful learning experiences. So my goal is to prepare our community for a purposeful future through innovative and inclusive education. I'm currently in Yamasee Region 3, that's Hawab Sharif, North Florida, the Republic, and that is the capital of Florida, Tallahassee, where I'm located in Yamasee. You can reach me at yashiyahu@arnaeducation.org. You can also go to my congressional website at arnaeducation.org, and you can download my bio. And you can also go to the legislation page, and you can also download the current bills, and we will also have current events and interact with the community throughout this public platform. This is where you'll be able to voice your concerns, and once Chief establishes the referendum link, and I think it already is, if you want to do referendums, if you want to voice your concerns or anything like that, you can go to Chief's website, and I'm gonna see if I can have a link on my page as well. I advocate for autonomy in Indigenous education. I have been a national in ARNA for 5 years now to date, and I have been credentialed as a level 1 and level 2 jurist, an economist, and a genealogist. I'm the founder of Indigenous Cultural Learning Institute, SARLAW, firm, and a host of a whole lot of serial entrepreneurial roles in the Indigenous community. So I'm honored to introduce myself as the Minister of Education for the Indigenous government of ARNA. So uniquely equipped with intuition, guidance, and a passion for teaching, like I said, and I'm dedicated to constructing these courses. So we have a dissertation that we're working on, and we got half of it done. Earlier, we spoke briefly on a bill of like a scholarship. So that is passed, and now, you know, the ball is in our park, and we want to bring y'all an online course for the ages of 3 to 17. So that's one of our goals before we go to voting for this seat again. So we've accomplished the website, and we're proud of that. We've had a few initial meetings with the board, and, you know, we'll talk about that later, but I'll yield for now. And if you have any questions, I am more than welcome, or, you know, to answer. So just let me know, and I yield my time. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate that. All right, I believe that we were able to touch all the ministers outside of Naima. Naima, we're going to give you one more time. If you don't work this time, we're going to say it for you, and we moving along, all right? So, Sister Minister Naima.
I got it. Thank you. I don't know what's going on with the tech. So if you could go to my slide, please. Peace, family. I am Minister Naima, Minister of Births, Deaths, and Forensics. I am in Region 5 in Detroit, Michigan. My email, if anyone needs to reach me, is naimashiamaru@gmail.com. So I am a prenatal yoga instructor, also a comedic yoga instructor. I'm currently in the Tribal Birth Workers course that we've completed phase 1, headed into phase 2, and then we have an in-person focus happening in the spring for a full graduation. So I'm excited about that, to become a fully credentialed tribal birth worker. And I became passionate about birth work after the birth of my first child. and just kind of threw myself into everything surrounding that in terms of movement with yoga and exercise, in terms of nutrition, carbon-based nutrition, which is just so important because we're just not taught from a female standpoint, and also just as a couple, you know, the man and the woman, how we should be caring for our bodies, we should be eating before we have our child, before we conceive, during conception, pregnancy, all the way through postpartum. So I became very passionate about that. So it felt like a natural fit to become the minister of birth. Admittedly, the deaths and forensics part is something that I need to dive into, and I would love to open up the cabinet for those that are definitely interested in those areas and know about tribal burials and tribal death practices, to be able to expand the ministry. My goal is to create a birth institution that will house all courses, whether it's like teaching families about home birth, credentialing students to be tribal birth workers and midwives, to have workshops as well, and also to connect nationals with Indigenous birth practices so that we can all have a better understanding of how to birth our children properly, because that is the future, and that's who's going to be running ARNA. So that is very important to me. I'm very passionate about this field of study, and I look forward to expanding more. And I hope to be having my interest meeting either this month or the top of the year. Thank you for your time.
Good job, girl. You must have practiced that all that time that you was trying to figure it all out. You only had like 5 seconds left. Look at you. All right, y'all. You see what we've been doing? We've just been sitting around the past 2 years. We've been practicing. We've been collaborating, getting good with respecting each other, getting good with, you know, practice. Some of us do a little bit more community engagement than others, but I don't mean that any way other than this is ARNA, and ARNA is the platform to build civil people, right? And it has proven to be the best place, if you ask me. I mean, we're willing and open and ready to be opening up this table so that more work can get done. So I believe that we are ready to go ahead and move forward. We got about 30 people on here tonight, a few jumping in and jumping out. So again, just bear with us as we get them in. We're going to make sure that you all get this record. Please, if you have questions or concerns, we're going to give you a whole space to get those questions out, but don't be afraid to put them in the chat. And this is a collaborative meeting, so we will address those questions that you may have that you put in the chat within the dialogue. But we're going to go ahead and keep on rolling. It's 8:15. We were supposed to finish that at 8:05, so we're doing pretty good in CP time. We're doing pretty damn good. All right. Review of legislative work. So over the past 2 years, really quickly, y'all, we have been able to build legislation. Today, we are only going to talk about what has passed, but that's because, one, we want to make sure that you are aware. We want to get some input from you all, but within our committees, that's when we'll be able to discuss some things that has not passed. What ideas do you have as far as legislation is concerned? What do you want to see this government look like 150, 10 years down the road, right? So we're going to start with our Minister of Health again. Excuse me, not Minister of Health, our Minister of Births, Deaths, and Forensics, Minister Naima, and we'll go through each ministry who had bills that have passed. We are going to make sure that you all get these links and you can read through these bills, because you may not be aware of all the new laws that have been passed in ARNA, because once they are passed, we must follow them, right? So we want to make sure you are aware. If you have questions about them, then reach out. I know this may be pretty quick for you to be able to read these bills, have an understanding, and get your questions in. So don't fret. Read it on your own time. You're meeting all the ministers today. Just don't be shy. You got a question, you got a concern, voice it. That's my spiel. Minister Naima, if you are ready, I yield to you. We're going to go ahead and get you rolling. Ladies and gentlemen, get your questions ready, because we're going to take a quick break and allow you to ask some questions based off of the two things that we just did. You up, Naima.
Okay, you can click that first link. Okay, so the first bill that was passed for my ministry was proposed this past spring. And in summary, it is a bill for nationals to properly prepare for childbirth based on Indigenous health standards. Oh, I was reading that. You scroll back up. Thank you, right there. Based on Indigenous health standards, marital status, and financial security. The purpose is to prevent and address health ailments, unstable familial structures, and impoverished finances that can affect healthy childbirth outcomes. So I'm not going to read the entire bill. As Minister Balan said, you can read it in detail, but you can scroll down a little bit more. So this one is entitled the Childbirth Preparation Act. And in summary, again, based on my ministry, my goal was to kind of start at the beginning. How do we help nationals birth children in the proper way so that we are avoiding health complications during pregnancy, postpartum, and issues with the child later on? So if you can scroll down a little bit more. And so I went through and listed a series of requirements that will be mandatory for nationals to adhere to when they decide to conceive children. This was passed this in spring, but I also wrote into the bill that it wouldn't go into full effect until a year from passing, which would be this coming spring, to give nationals time to understand the bill, to ask questions, and to acclimate and adjust to any changes. So some of those requirements are to be, so in order to birth children, to bear children in ARNA, the requirements are to be married either in a U.S. or tribal jurisdiction, to be on an Indigenous food science diet, to complete a bioscan or natal chart reading prior to conceiving, to have a minimum of 2 streams of income per household to secure finances, to reside in a physical home structure, have a planned pregnancy, and to be the age of 21 years or older. And the rest of the bill just goes into definitions of those different terms, and also discusses which ministry will be documenting who is adhering to this, which would be, I would be in charge of that, as well as the Ministry of Family and Community Action. And I have a few exemptions for anyone who already had previous children, anyone who had, previous birth complications. So there are exemptions. This is not a punitive bill. This is to encourage nationals to get on a certain track so that we can birth our children properly. And this just becomes a standard. It's not even a bill. This is just a way of life and how we operate in terms of how we conceive our children. So I can go on to the next bill. It's in the same document. You can scroll down. Right here. So the second bill that was also passed in the spring, you can go down a little bit further. This one was called the Infant Advocacy Act. And this one was in order to so the first bill was more so about how to protect the health of the conception. And this one is more about ensuring that the infant themselves have certain parameters in place to protect the child. So you can scroll down a little bit more, please. So the Infant Advocacy Act. So the purpose of this act was to produce children that are optimally healthy, protected lawfully, and know themselves in order to focus their energies on designing a purpose which serves and empowers their Indigenous family, community, and lineage. And again, this bill will go into effect within 12 months of enactment. It was enacted this past spring, so it wouldn't go into full effect until this coming spring. So some of the requirements are nationals who are parents. So this bill is for the parents of the children, must ensure their infant children are born naturally at home or in a birthing center with birthing specialists, have an Aboriginal baptismal record administered by an ARNA jurist within 30 days of birth, are breastfed for a minimum of 12 months postnatal, are inoculation free, meaning vaccine free, have parents who maintain an Indigenous food science diet, and have a cosmology natal chart reading within 12 months postnatal. And anyone has any questions, I'd love to go into detail about some of the reasoning behind that. But again, this is to protect the child. The parents have to be healthy to conceive a child. The baby needs to be breastfed to be healthy. The child needs to have a record of birth within our tribe for legal protections. And the parents should be aware of the child's natal energies, their chart energies, to help guide them towards their purpose.
2 minutes.
So, okay, and you can go to the next set of bills. You can go back to the PowerPoint. So I just go into definitions and again, who's keeping record, which would be my ministry. And then I have two more bills that passed this past fall session. The first one is pretty straightforward. It's basically just a birth record bill. So we're just requiring nationals to record all births that happen in our tribe. So the findings were that we currently don't have any requirement for this, so that children who are born are kind of not being kept track of, because, you know, children who are born, who are babies, don't need to have certain documentation. So we want to be able to basically have a census of who our children are, national planning, identity, and also legal protections. If a child was born, something happens with the child that needs to go through jurisdiction, legal issues, we need to actually have documentation that the child was indeed born within the tribe. So this will also go into effect this coming spring on the equinox. So the requirements are basically for basic record, kind of like a birth certificate or a formal birth record. You just would need to fill out a form. It'll probably be on my ministry website. The child's name, gender, date and time of birth, location of birth, the mother's name, father's name. Scroll down, please. Can you scroll down a little bit, Minister Ballon? The ethnic descent and the ARNA status, as well as the parents' marital status. So again, pretty straightforward. Once the child is born, you would go online, fill out this document, no fee associated with it at all. The one thing of note is that this document is not an official birth record. It's just for in-house, for headquarters and my ministry to be aware of children being born. And you can go to the next bill. It's on the same page. You can just keep scrolling down. Can you scroll down? There you go. And the last bill was kind of on the opposite end, was a record of deceased bill. So same thing for us to keep track as a tribe of who is transitioned in our tribe and the reasons why. So you can scroll down. Requirements for this would be the person's name, their birth date, age, location, gender, marital status, surviving family, time and date of birth, cause of birth, location, and the disposition method and location, meaning were they buried, were they cremated, did they have a tribal birth process, etc. And again, documentation for this would be held through headquarters and or also my ministry website. So those are the 4 bills that I have presented through Congress that have passed. Any questions? I am open.
All right. Wonderful job, sister, with your bills over this period of time. That we have a comment that says, I really love what ARNA represents. This is what the Black community has been missing. I'm super excited for the future of ARNA. So are we, Brother Curtis. So are we. And we excited for this sister and the wonderful work she does. She keeps us honest. She keeps us focused. You know, it can be weird being with a whole bunch of boys who always want to just go at each other next. And we always want to debate, and one got to have the last word, and whatever the case may be. She is wonderful with keeping us moving. She is the mama of the group, for sure. She is the mama. All right. So we're gonna keep it rolling. Minister Rashad, are you available and ready, brother?
Yes.
All right. We are going to go with your bills now.
Okay.
Can you see it, brother?
Yeah, I have it pulled up on a different screen, so I'm gonna scroll on my end. I'm not gonna read the whole thing. I'm just gonna summarize each one.
All right, I'll keep up with you. Just let me know when you go into the next one.
All right, cool. Okay, peace, everybody. Minister Washak here. The first bill that I have here is cited as the National Cultural Heritage Act. And the main points of this bill is 1, establishing national instruments that represent as Chief suggested, each element of our cosmology, which is fire, water, air, and earth. And so what we have here that was selected is earth. We decided to go with the steel drums, and those instruments are native to the Trinidad Island area. But I thought that it would be a good thing to adopt that here to create culture exchange with our brothers and sisters that's right on the border, right across from us. And plus, in the position that I am, I actually have access to a lot of these instruments. So this will actually be my main focus. This will actually be my main focus.
Everybody go on mute for us so we don't have any background music or noise, excuse me.
Cool. Are we good? I think so. This is actually going to be my main focus. And I would appoint others to fill out these other positions. But this is what I wanted to start summer camps with. Once we kind of go through next year, not as this bill has passed, I'm going to start drum classes for all nationals, adult and children that want to be a part of it. And as it states later in this bill, these groups, this group will be have hand-selected individuals out of these groups that represent something called the Aboriginal Drum Guard that will be responsible for performing at national events, ceremonies, and just promoting our musical heritage. So earth is steel drums, fire is the voice, water, stringed instruments, and air, the trumpet. So that goes over that. So like I just said, these groups, especially the Steel Drum Orchestra, I want to have national performance ensembles that goes with the composition of a official national anthem in a classical style format that will represent voice, steel drums, trumpet, and strings all involved in that composition. So if anybody that's musically inclined would like to be a part of that committee and would like to help out with that, feel free. Like I said here, the formation of a national drum guard, kind of already went over a description of that, but there's going to be a chief of that drum guard as well. That person, as of right now, would sit, or that position, as of right now, will sit as the committee chief of music and entertainment. And so that person will organize these annual cultural camps that that involves training musicians and getting ready to celebrate, whether it's parading, whether it's musical events, just developing some type of. Yes, sir. Hold on 1 second, please. Sorry. Sorry about that. But yeah, okay.
We still on the first one, right?
Yeah, yes, sir.
All right, cool. Bet you got 3.5 minutes.
Okay, I'm done with that one actually. The next one is the Aboriginal Sports Association Act. This act just talks about creating an official sporting regulation committee over all sporting events in ARNA, and that oversees all sporting events in ARNA. This person oversees creating the rules, creating the regulations, monitoring what type of sports we have, and what sports are not allowed at this current point. So I nominated a brother for that. Just waiting for a response. So that's going to be a part of the committee as well. We actually have our first event coming up this Ramadan for a boxing bout. So tune into that. Hopefully we can get that live stream so everybody can see it. But that's going to be the kickoff of that event, so we can kick off 2025 real nice. So that's the Aboriginal Sports Act. The next one is the National Tongues Act, amended and redrafted from a previous bill that I wanted to do earlier in Congress, but this one finally got passed. And this one just talks about creating an internal language, whether it's reviving and older or ancient tribal language that we once spoke, reviving that and keeping that as an internal language that we only speak amongst ourselves through private communications and private interactions, and then creating something called a lingua franca, which is basically like something we do in business. And that one that was voted on was Kara, what people know as classical Arabic. And so developing that language so we can one, create an official language for ARNA outside of English, tie ourselves whether tribally or to a internal language or something that's created through ARNA linguists, and three, creating a language that we can connect with our brothers and sisters across the planet in Africa with the Moorish roots over there. So that's the National Tongues Act. And then the last one here is the National Voter Registration and Civic Responsibility Act. This act, pretty simple, is just to establish certain standards and requirements that registers our citizens to vote, make sure everybody, one, as it says, civic responsibility, know of their rights to vote and when those times are to vote, and also initiatives to get everybody to participate. Last year, well, not last year, but this past voting season for chief executive, we were talking amongst ourselves, it was, a little bit disappointing how many people actually participated. So this bill would help promote programs that should be decided to help get more of the community involved, and then just actually establish regulations and rules when it comes to registering and getting ready for our voting season. And I think that's the last one for my bills. And I yield.
Yes, sir. Wonderful job, brother. Wonderful job. Can y'all still hear me pretty well?
Yes, sir.
All right, great. All right, so we are going to move on to the next minister. I believe we have Yogi. Are you ready?
Yes, sir, God, I'm ready.
I yield the floor to Minister Yogi, head of cosmology and spirituality.
Yes, sir. Awesome. You gotta click on the bill. Uh-oh. Thought I gave you access.
I swear I've never been more surprised in evolution. Go
There you go. She be up there now, God. She be able to just.
What?
There we go. Listen, peace, family. So it was my bill that I passed in 2022. It was my first bill that I passed. It's called the government seasonal bioscans. And so this bill is basically, I wanted this bill to pass because, we use a cosmology system. And so when it comes to health, we know emotions are chemicals. And with our connections to each of the planets as well, we can chart a person's birth chart and find certain psychosomatic behaviors, in their rhythm, in their daily life. And so with dealing with government, we don't just want anyone, running. We want to make sure, especially as they deal with life stress, their personal lives, work stress, things of that nature, we want to make sure that, they are optimal health and able to function. And so with this bill, it is we collect, so each government official has to get a bioscan from a certified ARNA doctor, Aboriginal doctor. And then with that bioscan, what it allows me to do, because the bioscan shows each of the 12 body systems, I'm able to correspond that to the birth chart and start to see certain behaviors that could possibly, come about within their daily life. And so each government official is supposed to get a bioscan from an ARNA doctor on each of the solstices, the summer solstice and the winter solstice. And they have 7 days, after the solstice takes place to submit that. And then collaboration with the Ministry of Health, who can collect that data, then the cosmology department can begin to write up its reports on each of the officials, identifying any behaviors that could possibly come up, any weaknesses, anything of that nature. Because what we don't want things like, Kamala Harris or Joe Biden, And so with our system, we are able to identify it even before it comes about. You know what I mean? And so once we see the pattern of, they move in a certain way, now, because it's not a bill to punish them, it's a bill to actually help them. Because we start to notice, pattern behavior, and we already got the reports, now we can, make sure to guide them properly, whether it's, diet, psychologically, anything of that nature.
You still got 2.5 minutes, brother. 2.5 minutes. Anything else you want to add to that, or any other ideas you have for your department in your 2.5 minutes?
Yes, okay, great. So I definitely don't this bill, but as far as other ideas for the department, definitely looking into one here from the nationals, two as well. One idea for the department is to start to protect people's birth chart in a sense, meaning, right now, all of our birthdays are online on Facebook, it's public information for the most part for those who do display their birthday. And so that was an idea because, you can look at someone's birth chart and start to, because we know the birth chart is also associated with, the health, the 4 receptors in the body. And so we can begin to learn the person's birth chart to cause harm to them or, do something of manipulation in that sense. And so one of the ideas is to, push forward more privacy and protections of people's birth charts, especially from cosmologists. And, it's an idea that I received and downloaded from Chief Ali. And so, having people just read other people's lives is like, no, because, they began to create slander, gossip, things of that nature. And so that was one of the ideas. And then, of course, just beginning to collaborate with people. I mean, cosmology is the 12th polarity, the intergumentary system. And so it's everywhere. So collaborating with, the Minister of Arts and Culture, the Minister of Births and Deaths. And so collaborating with the ministers, which will help even create even more legislations to protect our government, especially from others. I mean, we see many posts from Chief Ali where he even talks about spiritual warfare and things of that nature. And so we want to prepare our first defense and have the foundation as strong as possible to prepare for those type of things to come about. In time, that's my last thought.
All right, appreciate you, brother. You do have a question. There was a question that says, would these scans be government funded?
What was that? Say that again. What's the question? Oh, I can read. Would these
Would
scans
these scans be government funded?
So the scans will be government funded. And so especially because they have to get a scan from the official ARNA doctor too as well. So along with the cosmology department, as well as a percentage out of that will also go to the ARNA doctor, just to create, you know, a circle of revenue. And so the cosmologist, you know, who's ever, you know, the minister of cosmology, or, you know, who does the report, will also get paid as well. So both the ARNA doctor and the cosmologist, you know, receives a percentage so they can continue their work to do the scans as well as the psychological report. Did that answer the brother question? I don't know if you.
Good, brother Curtis. Give us a thumbs up if you are.
Yes.
While he's working on that, I do want to add, though, just for a little bit of clarity, that we don't have any money in the government currently. That's part of why we need some help from the actual nationals. That's part of why we are building legislation as well. So right now, for the ministers that we do have, that's a service that Yogi has been providing for us as the cosmologist minister. However, this needs to be funded. And we need to be assured that we're going to have money for this for the next person that's in this position. So I just wanted to add some clarity that we don't have money for it at this second, but that's not stopping us from proposing the money. We're not saying that it's just going to be free, because these people have services and they should be paid for it. So just want to be very clear that we are still making sure that each person is getting paid. However, we don't have the money sitting anywhere just yet. Anything else, Brother Curtis? You good? Any other questions as far as legislation that has passed between birth, deaths, and forensics, cosmology, and also arts and culture? All right, Brother Curtis said he good. Great question, brother. And we're gonna have more time at the end, but I don't want us to continue to build too long and then you all forget your questions or forget what you are trying to add into the actual conversation. So if you have it now, ask it. And you're welcome to come off mute. You don't have to put it in the chat. You can come up, say what's up to us. Going once, going twice, Gabby. We'll come back to you, baby. All right, next person up. We have the Minister of Education, Minister Yashiyahu. Are you ready to yield, for me to yield to you, brother?
Greetings, God. Absolutely. Thank you.
All right, I'm going to share your screen and you have the floor.
How long do we have? You said we got 5 minutes, correct?
You got 5 to 7. I'm gonna give you 7 off top. So I'll probably chime in at 3 minutes, okay?
No problem. I know the bill of mine is a little lengthy, but I tried to do a little summary, so bear with me, please.
You all good, brother. I'm gonna just cut you at 7, so don't take it personal.
I love you, brother. I love you.
Go ahead, do your thing.
Yes, sir. Salute. So a detailed summary of my bill. The name of my bill is Indigenous Education Reclamation Act, or the IERA of 2024. So it is a transformative legislative initiative aimed at restoring and advancing Indigenous education within the Aboriginal Republic of North America. So it is rooted in ARNA's Constitution commitment to preserving cultural heritage and ensuring the rights of Indigenous peoples. So the purpose of the act is to revitalize Indigenous languages and knowledge systems in central pillars of education. So through that, as you've heard, the Minister of Culture, he has an interest in, and as he should, revitalizing our language. So we'll definitely be working with him in that regard. Also to promote holistic health education. So this arm is designed to reach out to the Minister of Health. Fostering leadership development amongst Indigenous youths for roles in governance, law, education, in economics. So implementing restorative justice to replace punitive measures within the community, and to, restore reconciliation versus the prisoner pipeline with our young males, to establish tailored educational pathways that reflect cultural identity and leadership traits. So the key provisions of the Indigenous knowledge and language preservation part of our act. The Indigenous Knowledge Systems, or the IKS, it will be mandatory programs across all ARNA affiliate schools, prioritizing traditional knowledge, cultural practices, and natural law. Training education is culturally responsive teaching methods. So we'll be training the teachers as well as the parents. So in the National Indigenous Language Day, which is a day that we designated on March 21st, is to celebrate and promote language preservation, and that is around the spring equinox. So the holistic health education, this curriculum or program, it includes traditional healing practices, herbal medicines, and nutrition based on Indigenous dietary practices. So the community engagement days, well, this particular part of the bill, this bill is designed to attach to all of the ministers, if you can tell. So that's just why it's all over the place. But one of the goals of the educational department is to work very closely, as we do have a hand once we get our credentials to, curb what the public statements about ARNA is. So we will be working with all of the ministers. So as we go through the bill, you'll see that it's something relevant to each branch of government. So we have a Community Engagement Day. So this is June 21st, and is designated as Holistic Health Education Day. So it features workshops, traditional food preparation, and herbal medicines, and demonstrations that will be led by certified Indigenous healers. So the leadership development mentorship programs, national mentorship initiatives, pairing youths with elders, professionals, and field specialists, a central database to coordinate mentorship opportunities, the youth leadership summits, the annual events to empower youth to develop solutions for community challenges. And that will be scheduled for September 22nd through 23rd annually. So the restorative justice practices, the restorative justice circles, collaborative conflict resolution involving students, staff, and community members. So to focus on accountability, healing, and trust restoration. So the training and oversight, it will be provided by the National Jural Society. We will be partnering with them and receiving their templates on securing measures and psychological analysis, that they use along with the other ministries to help psychologically map our children.
3 minutes.
Situations. So I'm just going to skim over the captions of the rest of the bill. Of course, you can look at it for time's sake. Okay, so the personalized Indigenous education plans, this is the extensive heart of the bill right here, because we involve ourselves with the psychology department and with the health department, and we create what you call transcripts. Now, this is something that we are seeking to patent, and we have a law institution that partners with us to do these legal procedures for us. But with the IEP, we'll be creating life transcripts. So the transcripts will be developed for the children before they're even born, because we'll be educating through the health department, mapping the minds of the adults having the children with their covenant keepers, and with the Ministry of Families and Health. You see how all this plays? So we will be developing immaculate births, and we will be charting it on these transcripts. So we use strategically our Zolkin profiles using everybody's birth charts to map the perfect being according to the parents' designs and their purposes. So we not only educate the children, we educate the parents, and we also triangulate that with the teacher. So they might need certain things. We're not just going to put them in a white box and then tell them to learn and regurgitate things. So I wanted to move through some of the accomplishments of the ministry for time's sake. I am going to hit enter here. and you will have access. Ooh, I superseded. So maybe I'll break it up. But I will delete that.
We're doing your first bills right now, the oldest one,
Okay.
government.
Okay, I apologize. Oh, the first bill was a very short bill. I mentioned it earlier. For time's sake, again, that was just a scholarship bill, because could you imagine coming into the educational department and try to follow the shoes of our chief? That was very intimidating for me, and I felt inadequate. So with what I knew already before I met ARNA, I was studying online for about a year, and I thought I was proficient. I had most of the books. And when I introduced to the chief, and it just opened all the way up, and I was like, okay. And then later on, when we ran for office and we won, you know, I was happy, and I was like, okay, when boots hit the ground, I need to study. And so I really was crying for mercy, and not only for me, but for everybody. So long story short, that's what the first bill was about. Appreciate that. But I just wanted to touch those links real quick, just to go over all of these links are connected to websites directly to what they say. So you'll be able to view that. If I run out of time, you'll be able to go through that at your own convenience. So I'm trying to put that in the chat so you can download that. And as you go through that, what you'll see that we've acquired a learning center to help fund our own bill. We do a lot of in-house initiatives with the local jurisdiction. We've had a local jurisdiction since 2022, and we've had a powwow, a vernal equinox event in 2023. You'll see that in the last link. We've also
You're gonna get a chance to talk about that in your committee, brother. Let's keep rolling.
No. It's cool. I'm done. That was the brief. I just wanted to go over the two bills. I appreciate the time for that. And then I wanted to show the accomplishments. I think that's very important. But those are links that you can check out on your own. And you know, if y'all don't have any questions, you know, I yield my time. But if you do, I'm definitely here, and you're more than welcome to ask me about the website, how we interact with the public, what we're doing in-house Congress, what we're doing here in Region 3 locally in Tallahassee, how we're acquiring our money. And you know, so yep, I appreciate your time, and I yield.
Questions for Minister Yashiyahu and the Ministry of Education? Did anything come up while looking at the link, while possibly looking at his bill? Again, don't feel pressured if you didn't feel that you had enough time, but any ideas to add to the brother while you're here that you want to add into the chat, or that you want to come off mute? We got a comment from Brother Murray saying, great work, God. Great work, brother. Great work.
Hey, I appreciate the support. Thank you, God.
Ministers as well, while we in here, I did share some of these links. Make sure that you provide access to those who may be trying to read. But we do have a hand up. You got the floor, sister.
Hi, peace, everybody. I just had one quick question, brother. When you mentioned that you guys are going to look to do a K through 12 curriculum throughout your next season, is that general subjects, math, science, or just a cultural education type of development?
You will see a harmless. Can I be heard? I thought, okay, I'm off.
Okay.
Yes, that is a powerful question. Thank you so much for that, because what I've learned is it's hard to comprehend the wholeness of indigenous knowledge. And so coming out of a fragmental styled and very predatory type educational system that's designed to make you less than a human being or a functional citizen in your own jurisdiction, what we do is we use things that's familiar to you in the, you know, United States corporation, and then we show you the natural signs that even they can't escape in their system, and we correct it with the Zolkin pattern. Because what we teach here in the educational system is, it's like, you ever heard of IQ? So we call it we termed it God body IQ, or God IQ. And what that means is, when you recognize that there's a pattern in nature, and no matter how grand you go up or how minute you go in size, it's the same pattern. And so when you learn this pattern, you'll start tapping into telepathy and things like that with nature. That's why we study art. So it is so easy for us once we understood this. So we're not worried about their education. We taught them education. We monitor education across the globe. We have traces, and because you're a scholar, we have our education traced across the globe. So even as they tried to defile it and reconstruct it for their mentality or however they do business, we invented it. So we know the surgeon.
Okay, not to cut you off, because I know I don't
good.
want to hold up the other time, but the general point of what I'm just trying to say is, I mean, I definitely understand about what you're saying, but just from the background, we will be covering all of that information. Now, how we deliver it and all that is up to us, but I'm just wondering, because so I have some ideas about it. So I just want to make sure I'm right, that you will be looking at least to hit on that general scope of traditional information to a degree, and then we'll just be reshaping how we deliver the education. I'm just thinking, like, as a parent who would, I mean, it really won't be my situation because I don't have little kids, but I'm just saying for kids coming, parents, kind of just want to know, at least they know their kids is meeting these certain levels, even if it's just a part of the comfort in your brain, as you homeschool as a parent, to just know that if they had to be looked at, I know that my kid is surpassing the general standards or whatever. So I'm just saying that we would make sure that the kids still had an opportunity. Now, how we deliver all of that and how we creatively orchestrate all of that, will continue to be on us. But we will be having like math, science, spiritual, all the other stuff, and then incorporating like the Aboriginal University, maybe cosmology, little levels into this stuff as well. Okay, that's all.
Oh, no, you good. Absolutely. So what we like to do is we don't like to reinvent the wheel a lot. So we don't mind, as an educational department, we got GED books and we got other higher forms of education in private institutions. And then we go all the way to Ivy League. And what we do is we recognize that and we incorporate it. So when we're disseminating our materials, we're building from a foundation that can't be remapped. So it allows that person to free think and take that information and teach themselves after a certain level. But we will lead them into everything they need. And as we matriculate up towards 17, we'll get in vocational, we get into physics, we get in everything that you like. We're not missing anything. We're not missing anything. So that is a good question. But yes, we will have all of the academia, the mathematics, the arithmetic, the history, all the history. Oh my gosh. So yes, absolutely.
Yes, the long way to say yes. Yes, the answer is yes.
I'll give it to you that way. Thank you. Thank you for the question, because we need these type of hard questions. That's a good question. Thank you, sis. Any other questions?
We gonna hop back into we did 2 sessions for him, so we got double the time, brother. You got 14 minutes, so we gotta move along. Next bill. All right. So y'all can kind of see this is kind of the hard part of my job of managing the time and making sure that everybody gets enough space. All right. So this is the bill that I did in spring, 15,110. The first bill I wanted to get through, or at least this is the first bill that got passed that I have put in, was the Aboriginal Governance Restoration Act. This was a bill that was created for filling vacancies within the Ministerial Congress. We've had multiple people be voted or elected into the Ministerial Congress that have not finished their role. So we were having a lot of issues with communications, keeping up with health. You all may have noticed we haven't been able to get a website yet. A lot of these delays have been because of the ministers in those houses have vacated those seats. So now that we are on this side of the actual government, there's some things that we wanted to be able to fill in the holes, and this was one of them, giving me the responsibility to be able to choose candidates. However, the ultimate decision still comes down to the vote of the Ministerial Congress. That was the bill. They will be serving to the end of that term. So, for example, Minister Jael and Minister Jahi were the first 2 that were able to be recommended went through the process and voted on. We had others like Brother Miguel, who was a great candidate. He has been great since. Even though he didn't win, he has been just as involved as if he has. So, you know, win, lose, or draw, there is a committee that is needed to be built up. We just need people to host those seats of leadership. So this bill allowed us to be able to replace people when that happens. We also found that some of you all have voted on some people, and they may be attending, they may not attend, they may be attentive, and they may not be attentive. So regardless of what may happen within these meetings, let's say if someone has an issue that causes them to be adjudicated through NJS and removed from their position, then we need to have some type of system in place to be able to replace houses and build a succession plan for the new people that come in. So that was one thing that was on my mind, and the first thing that got passed and supported by the rest of the group. So that was that. The only definitions I needed to add was ministerial seat and define clearly who the president was based off of who's going to be choosing. And I just spoke about other findings from the foreign venue about how they replace people, rather than city council, mayors, things of that nature. So that was my first particular bill. I'm excited about it because we have been able to add Brother Jahi and Brother Jael, and they've been great in their roles. And I look forward to finishing up these next 2 years with them. So it's been great to have a full business, at least a full government enacting with us every 2 weeks. So the next spot is adding these committees so that we can have you all in the spot with us, building these laws, building the actual systems, making some money as well. There's a place for that. So I'll yield my time for bills. I don't have anything to add for that particular bill, unless there is questions about that particular bill. You can either come off mute or you can put it in the chat. All right, I'll check back in, but I think that one's pretty straightforward. Y'all understand the importance, so I didn't expect to be questions about that particular thing. What I would like to do is I would like to move on to the committees. However, I do want to start with the ministers who did not actually have bills that were passed yet. I want to start with those ministers and one, give us one idea that you may have as far as legislation that you would like to see come up in the spring term, and then go straight into your committees. We'll give you people a little bit more than your 3 minutes, but those of you who have bills, you'll have 3 minutes to essentially tell us a summary of your committee. Again, we'll have more time to discuss these things, invite people out. If you have joined any of these interest meetings, then if you had questions that you didn't get answered, ask them here. This will be your opportunity. But I would like to start with Minister Jael, if he's ready.
Okay, family. Yeah, my link isn't attached, but I just dropped it in the group chat, and that should be the link to our.
I'll click on it. Just make sure stay within your time. But I got you. Keep rolling.
Okay, cool. All right, so family, just wanted to acknowledge, man, this being honored to be a part of this amazing team, community, and effort to participate in our own government as a people, right? So, everybody has this preconceived notion about what they think government is based on the current experience integrated into this society. And here we have this opportunity to completely deprogram ourselves and reconstitute ourselves with our God-given nature, right? And so I'm just, honored to be in a position to serve here, and also with the background that I've had, prior to coming into ARNA, I was an undergrad at an HBCU, and already concerned with food security for our community, because the first dot that I connected in terms of awareness was that, they have publications for academic performances being impacted by the quality of food. And the community that I was in was a food desert. It was food insecurity. People didn't have access to healthy foods and whatnot. And so the correlations are very evident. And so within our ministry, our responsibility is to not only prepare legislation to support our society and our lifestyle that can be also acknowledged and accepted as a truth and a matter of fact and law in relation to the foreign jurisdiction. And so additionally, we have a responsibility within our ministry to, yeah, can you actually go down to the section about objectives? Oh, and so this link right here is just the agenda that we had for our first committee meeting. And so the section, I'll scroll down just a little bit more. Let's go to Ministry of Health Opportunity. Yeah, okay. So we have every department, every ministry has a set of mandates, and shout out to Chief Minister of Education Yashayahu for reminding us of our mandates and just what our role and function is. But another shout out to Chief Ali for placing these mandates and these identities and responsibilities associations throughout several textbooks. And so one thing about participating in your own government is you have to pay attention to your own literature. And so we do have a very comprehensive library of curriculum, and we all have the same equal opportunity to pay attention and recalibrate ourselves. So if you can scroll down, I'm just going to highlight, as you requested, one piece.
Yeah, you got 1 minute too. I gave you 5, but you got 1 minute.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you scroll down to yeah, just go down a little bit more. All right, right there. Cool. So within the oh yeah, it should be the same page as, or page 8. You should be on page 8. Yeah, that one. So some of the initiatives that I intend to lead our ministry through is policy, research and development, which will give us the justification to fund our own projects throughout local jurisdictions. And also, as we gain access to not only federal funding within our own government, but also federal funding from the foreign government, being positioned to allocate funds from the Bureau of Indian Affairs. So we definitely need to map out our projects and identify our budgets for these projects and critical pieces of our society that involve agribusiness activities. So we're talking about land management of our resources, whether it's, you have timber, or we want to create our own bison farms, and then also developing our own agricultural farms, on small and large scales. And so another area that we want to focus on is also identifying the budget for creating our own distribution channels and points and whatnot. And so this list of objectives that we're sharing with you is on our Ministry of Health agenda that will be available to the public. We do have a website that is on the way with the other ministries as well. But in the meantime, these are some of the areas that we are going to centralize our efforts and focus on. And so we're really looking forward to new committee members, those who've expressed interest, and anybody who's interested now with being a part of the team, and also bringing some other great ideas, because we all have a piece to this puzzle here as we are restoring our village and participating in governing our own society. So that's what we'll be looking forward to in the spring, with some legislation to complement these objectives, programs, and initiatives. Without any further questions, I yield the floor. Thank you.
Appreciate you, brother. All right, so we're going to move back to Minister Yashiyahu. We will come back to questions for that area in a couple people, but now, Minister Yashiyahu, you are up. This section, we have 3 minutes. You ready, brother?
Okay, here we go. All right, are we going to the committees? All right.
Start time.
Are we going to the committee links? There we go. So what I pretty much did is a lot of the communications that we were publishing off of our ARNA EDU Instagram page, we were using it as a communication. So we just pulled this straight off of here, and you'll see a lot what we was dealing with. Pretty much we were announcing the bill. The bill was just drafted, and we were excited about that. So we spoke a lot about that in the initial phase. Now, we had an informal recording earlier with a brother who was interested in continual learning education and developing CLE classes. In law, sometimes you have those classes, but for students, they are to help advance students to get scholarships. But that was actually our first meeting. And the second meeting, that's when we promoted like this, and we switched our style up. So we put a lot of what we were doing on social media so it'd be easily referenced. So people who could just stumble on it, or if they knew better, they would read and they can get exactly what we're going to do with our information. So we dealt a lot with the bill, and then we spoke about the website being used as a very efficient and functional way for the people to communicate through the educational department, as well as, multitask and be an economic center to doing contact, economic in our local jurisdiction and abroad. So our next meeting that we will have coming up here shortly, we will establish the board, or we'll at least identify the roles. So we just harped on those, and we didn't want to get into too much details until we got traction. And so if you go through the slides, you'll see what we've been pushing. All right, you skip that one. Just did that out of formality. And so if you see here on the side, you'll see the blue diamonds here acting as bulletin points. You'll see these are some of the things that we were slated to talk about next. So we're talking about the 12 core mandates. That's what you heard the Minister Jael of Health reference. A syllabus, committee roles, and then the Ramadan symposium if we got that far. So these are the things that we were talking about in our committee, and just real simple. Just really was feeling the team that was interested, and we have gotten real close. So we are doing a lot of economic activities is really what we're using to create an energy of winning, because a lot of people move different when they see actual winning, and it does a lot for me too. So, but I yield my time. Thank you. And if you have any questions about the committee board or what some of the positions are, I think I uploaded them. And if I haven't, then I have a physical copy right here, but that might be it. That might be it. Thank you.
All right, thank you, brother. So far we had 2 committees. Any questions as far as the health committee? Any questions as far as education committee? Please step out there or just go ahead and throw them in the chat, and we'll make sure that we get those addressed. For Nizzy, for now, I am going to move on to Minister Minister Jahi. Minister Jahi, this is your opportunity for the next 3 to 5 minutes to be able to discuss any legislative ideas you have coming up and inviting people to your committee.
Okay, peace, family. So, yeah, I got an opening for my committee for communications. And like I said earlier, I'm looking for people who got special skill sets that could add on to that. The main priority is the debate league. So we're going to be creating a debate league so we can improve on the conversation of history, civics, and things of that nature, just enhancing the indigenous paradigm globally, locally, helping our people understand these things from a media standpoint, documentaries. But the main priority is going to be the debate league, right? So if anybody has any more ideas on that, as far as like how they want to help enhance the debate league, I told you we open to researchers. We open to people who understand current events. And this debate league is not only about like talking about our history. That's going to be a main focal point, but we're also going to talk about relationships, right? We're going to talk about things that are plaguing our community that we can come together with and have discourse, and people can leave those conversations with a better understanding, because we're going to introduce them to everything that we're learning in ARNA, but from a debate standpoint, right? So like Ali got the birth books. He just got a new birth book. Those type of topics are fresh topics that we could talk about. Planning births. We could talk about these things, the importance of that, right? He also got the art and science of mating. We definitely want to talk about those conversations as well. We also want to talk about the cosmology thing, right? Cosmology versus astrology. We can introduce those type of conversations to the public, right? So people can understand. This is just basically an opportunity for us to put the way we think in the forefront, and also our community have common beliefs that are outdated, and we have the ability to challenge those common beliefs as well. So, if anybody is interested in that, like I said, you can hit me up at jobbricks@gmail.com. Very simple. Make sure it's with a Z though, not an S. Jobbricks@gmail.com. One bill that I'm interested in proposing soon is the Indigenous Media Network Act, right? And this bill is basically going to establish a dedicated media network to amplify Indigenous voices, share our actual historical narratives, and provide a platform for cultural and political discourse, right? So keep that in mind. We want to make sure that we're telling our story. We know that one of the biggest problems in our community, the 2 biggest problems that I say in our community, is indoctrination and propaganda. Those are the 2 biggest problems. We're on a highly mental warfare battlefield right now. So we got to understand that we got to play the game just like how they play the game. And I want to help amplify our voices and create our own narrative and just build on that. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the bills that I'm gonna be proposing this spring. And we're gonna be getting involved in documentaries. You know how they got the Hidden Colors? We could do our own version of Hidden Colors, right? Telling our narrative though. They got shows like like the brother Kojo, he do comic books. We can make those into cartoons. You know what I'm saying? Like just being creative with what we got. Everything that you enjoy in their jurisdiction, bring it to our jurisdiction. We're gonna put a spin on it, and then we're gonna project it to the world. And everything that And basically also with the debate league is going to be similar to, not similar, but you know, kind of like how Sarnetta and them got a platform where they could debate. So no, we're going to bring our platform and we're going to have a home team. But not only that, one of the major things that we're going to be bringing together, and I was talking to my brother Yashiyahu, because you got to think about what I'm saying. I'm speaking about propaganda, but I also spoke about indoctrination. When it comes to propaganda, that's the media brainwashing you. When it comes to indoctrination, that's the education system brainwashing you. They both play a key role, right? So I'm going to be doing a lot of collaboration with the Minister of Education as well. And one of the main things that we got cooking up is not only are we going to be debating amongst the conscious, quote unquote, conscious community, we're going to actually be debating with HBCUs, Yale. We're going to be inviting them type of people on our platform so we can have those uncomfortable conversations. I heard something go off, so I don't know. I'm done. It's over.
Yeah, that was your. We gave you 2 extra minutes, brother. We gave you 5 minutes.
Okay.
What we're going to do is you have a couple comments here. Let's make sure that we reach out to our folks and get them into the committee. Brother Miguel said, yes, he is correct about those lingering beliefs still plaguing our people. Sister Oxlahoon says, big facts, brother. Michael says, I can help eat through the propaganda, so let's make sure we get with that, brother.
Where could I see this at? Where you reading
It's in
from?
the chat, bro. It's in the chat.
Okay.
Yes,
all right, go ahead.
we should have taken Hidden Colors, its indigenous level on purpose. Naima, dope. We definitely need the debate skill to challenge old beliefs in intelligent, non-emotional ways. Yes, sir. And some hands. So it look like there's a lot of love there. Let's make sure you reach out to them, Jahi, in the chat, build with them.
Yeah, definitely. Whoever interested, reach out to me through my email, but also you can reach out to me on Instagram as well, Job Bricks. You can reach out to me on there as well, and let's just chop it up. Let's communicate. Let's get behind the scenes and really put this ministry together so we could project our image to the world.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yes, please, brother.
Peace, family. This Dr. Mariti. This quick question about committees first. So with the committees, I know we kind of briefly talked before that you could join multiple committees, right? Just want to clarify that.
Yeah, you could join multiple committees. You wanted to speak on that though, Belong? Anything?
Short answer is yes.
Right on. And is there a deadline by like, is there a close-off point when the committee's like y'all not accepting any more members after a certain point?
Each ministry may be a little bit different, but at least from our conversations, I believe we just openly taking people, as we need them. I don't believe there's any deadline. But if you have a specific ministry that you're interested about, you should speak to that minister because they may feel a little different. But from my understanding, we haven't talked about no deadlines. But we only got 2 more years left in our term.
Right on. I dig it. And
I'm taking all applications and bidders. So just holler at me. Let's make it happen.
Yeah, we definitely don't rap before about what I'm saying, being on the committee and stuff like that. But
absolutely.
Quick question, and I ain't trying to take up too much time, but it's
good. We need all of y'all questions, so y'all take up our time.
Yeah, so like, what is the plan for internal communications within like national to national or like communications? Because we bridged this idea before about having an internal communication log when it comes to like outlets that nationals could communicate with each other. Because I was just thinking like, and I know that every ministry is going to have its own website, but for some folks, and this is like, this would be a part of like the technology and keeping people up to date with so many websites and so many like, things going on with ARNA that could confuse a lot of people. They don't know where to go to, who to, you know what I'm saying? So it's like creating an internal platform where people can like kind of, a lot of stuff is compressed into like one thing, and then we can have different links. But like I said, that's in a different. But my main question was like, do you have any plans or like being on the committee? Can we encourage like more things toward internal communications with ARNA?
Yes, absolutely. I actually, that's a brilliant idea, my brother. I definitely got to get that. You just showed me how I could collaborate with the Ministry of Technology, right? So we definitely need communication, and we definitely need technology apps and things of that nature. So we definitely going to collab with that type of idea. And like I said, you being a part of the cabinet, you're welcome to bring all of those ideas, and we're gonna do the best that we can to bring those into fruition. So that's definitely, I'm definitely open to those type of conversations. We definitely need internal communication as well. That's very important. And we need like a central location where, you know, like everybody got their favorite app. Everybody go on Instagram or everybody go on Facebook. We need that something centralized that's easy, that's pocket friendly for everybody to go to. So I'm definitely open to those type of ideas.
Right on, right on. I appreciate that. Yeah, like I said,
Yes.
I plan on being a part of like at least 4 committees on here. I'm very excited. And I just want to say I thank and I'm applauding everybody and I'm rooting for everybody to, like, you know what I'm saying, make sure we complete all these tasks in the ministries. And I'm super excited. Like, I'm on here and I'm just looking at everybody's bills, looking at the stuff that's coming, and I'm just ready for it. So there's one thing I just want to give everybody
Absolutely.
their flowers right quick while I'm on.
Appreciate you, God. Appreciate you, God. And like you said, you see how a lot of some committees, you know, they collaborate. Like we, you know, it's a lot of committees that collaborate and come together just by the default of nature anyway. So there ain't nothing wrong with that.
It's one nation, you know what I'm saying? So it's all combined together. So everybody needs everybody in these situations.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, we got the hands up, so we're gonna keep on moving. Naima, you got a question for the minister?
Yes, Minister Jael, Josh, excuse me. I thought that's a great idea for the debate squad. My question was, would you do any like, is it an internal debate team that they just debate each other? Are they debating outsiders outside of ARNA? And I'm asking that because I personally could use some debate skill set. Like, are you going to do any trainings, like you were mentioning, like with the births, like such a touchy topic? And I've had to, toggle between how to debate it calmly. People get very emotional. So I think to have that kind of skill set would be really useful for especially those of us who are really into topics that are more sensitive. So is it going to be like training involved in it or just internal within the ministry? Like, how do you see it?
Okay, so we're gonna do a lot of internal training. Like that, that's gonna be our main thing. We're gonna go against ourselves to make sure that we're ready for the world. But the debate league is for the world. It's ARNA against everybody. That's what the debate league is for. But we're gonna sharpen our skills amongst each other. We're gonna constantly be doing that. We're gonna constantly have mock debates and things of that nature. We might even have some friendly competition debates as well on the platform. But what we're doing is we want to build our government up and our knowledge base up so we can present it to the world. And like I said, we're also going to have master researchers on the team. So we're going to have people who I send to go look at the competition talking points, and we break down every talking point and, you know what I'm saying, things of that nature. So there's going to be a lot of internal us building each other up, but the debate league is for us to engage with the public and bring them onto our paradigm. So for example, right, you say you're a midwife and you got midwife services and you are part of the debate. The goal of the debate is to convert people onto our mindset and how we think, right? But also mid-debate, whoever's there and got services, we could service our community right then and there. Because the good thing about our debates is after our debates is done, we have actual tangible solutions for the people. So we're not just giving them a word salad. We're not just giving them, flexing our education. No, after that, we got actual tangible remedies for y'all as well. So it's going to be an opportunity for us to build up our wealth as well.
That's dope. Thank you.
Yep.
Also, just really, oh, I'm sorry. I was just gonna just add on to what she had suggested that you might also want to think about and then how we can incorporate this into our conference, too, because then that would then allow more people to come in, to then, be a part of that, right? So you got some college kids, or we got some, you know, the midwifery groups and whatever the different areas of discussion, whatever we do on throughout the year, but we can also climax something as a part of our conference. So that way we can also bring in more community members to deal with these topics as well. So I think it's going to be really great that we can incorporate it in a lot of levels, our media point throughout the year, social media, and then also maybe have like a community forum part of that discussion and debate and showcase. So really excited.
Absolutely. Yep. Yep. I'm
Minister Rashad, you ready?
Yes, peace. You can find what I'm going off of from the where you have the bills doc underneath Ministry of Arts and Culture, where I went over the bills. If you can go to that link, you can find the cabinet seat and descriptions as well. Okay. All right. So if anybody wants to reach me or follow me on social media, right now my Facebook is down, so I got to figure out what's going on with that. But I have Instagram, @SheSocial_network. I am Washak, and then Washak Ali, or Washak_Ali.
You broke something?
I think everybody should. Somebody might be not be on mute right now.
And that's
Excuse me, can we
Sia
please
Pro,
mute our mics,
Sia
please?
Pro, Sia Pro. Can you please mute?
Okay. All right, cabinet seats and description. So the first one here is music and entertainment. As of right now, this one, I'm debating keeping it underneath the chief of the Aboriginal drum guard, who is also the chief of the the master of ceremony when it comes to music and entertainment at ARNA events. So for right now, that's what that position will be under. So this person focuses on the development and promotion of music and entertainment industries within the community. This member will also oversee music education, live performances, recording projects, and the integration of Indigenous sounds into modern media platforms. Our second ministry, art and graphics. This person will be responsible for visual arts and graphic design, including public art installations, traditional and digital illustrations, and promoting artists' work. This member will champion initiatives that preserve Indigenous art styles while embracing contemporary techniques. So that one right there is currently available for anybody that wants to apply and be a part of that committee. The next one is dance. Dance oversees programs and initiatives that support traditional and modern dance forms. This includes organizing dance festivals, workshops, performances to keep the spirit of the movement as a vital cultural expression. So this person will be working closely with number one, music and entertainment, to organize, events where, how they had back in the day, especially if you look in Afro-Cuban culture, they have dance choreographed for, I guess, mating celebrations between men and women. And so developing some type of cultural dance that we can express amongst ourselves as a relation with the opposite sex, and, just promoting, healthy body movement and cultural initiatives in that regard. The next one is, I have somebody that I might want to appoint for that. So if you still want to apply, please do. But I think I have somebody in mind. But please do show your interest in that as well. The next one is fashion, jewelry, and design. This person will focus on the creation and promotion of Indigenous fashion, jewelry, and textile design. This member will work on reviving traditional techniques and ensuring their relevance in today's fashion industry while supporting artisans and designers. So I think that's pretty self-explanatory. I have a brother in mind for that as well. But also how these committees will work, we will have, people put into these positions who will be the chief of each section. But if I choose somebody who's, chief of fashion, jewelry, and design, and you still have interest in it, you can still work underneath that person. That person will just head the committee, and that person will basically have a subcommittee of his own. So whether you're chosen or not to be the heads of these departments, you can still participate in those committee meetings, wherever that person is present, and be involved in that. So everybody can pretty much be involved, especially the ones that want to commit to different committees, but might not have the time to be the full position or person in that position. The next one is culinary. This person celebrates and preserves Indigenous culinary traditions while promoting them through festivals, cooking classes, and collaborations with local chiefs. This seat focuses on the role of food in cultural identity and its potential as a tool for economic development. So this person will set off the bison chili cook-offs, come next from summit. I know people was asking about that, so we can get some stuff started with that. Sports, I already had somebody in mind there, but if they decline, like I said, anybody is welcome to do that and also be a part of that committee that regulates the rules and proceedings when it comes to sporting events. So that one is self-explanatory. And then the last one here, marketing. So this person will be in charge of the marketing aspect. My ministry and the Ministry of Family Action are like co-partners in the sense of the website. So I forgot where we saw that. When you went to Manuel Bay's bills, I think he had the website already on there, and Minister Bolon clicked it. So that person will be responsible for taking all of these things from these other ministries, communicating that and branding it out on that page, in conjunction and partnership with the Minister of Family and Action and Community. And I think that's it. That's all we have for. Sorry.
That's your second time.
Oh, my bad. Okay. Yep. That's it.
Thank you. Any questions, concerns for Minister Rashad? And again, this isn't your last time, so don't feel panicked. Reach out and collaborate with your nationals and ministers. All right, Minister Naima, you're up.
Okay, peace. So I have yet to have our interest meeting, but like I said, that will be happening either towards the middle end of this month or top of the year. But what I am seeking to focus on is a couple of different things. So first is to properly record all the births and deaths. So following in line with the bills that have passed, to get assistance from cabinet members to actually get that installed via the website, get the form developed. And then I was also asked about, since we already have an Aboriginal birth record that we use for the baptismal record, but we don't have any death records. So to get a process going where we can actually have an official death record form or tribal death record form that we can use, that you can use to interface with U.S. jurisdiction. The second thing would be to continue to enhance the website once it's been built, getting forms on there, getting information on there, like how you download your birth record, how you download the contraindication forms, anything related to births and deaths that you would need to interface with any other jurisdiction or just for your own records. And then the last thing was going to be have a development of a birth institution, as I mentioned before, thinking about calling it the Indigenous Birth Association. So similar to like how the AMA operates, in a sense, where we would house courses, products, maybe even like, retreats, but everything related to, for the first portion, related to birth. And then later on, we would add in deaths and forensics. So really want to build out that association so we can have a very holistic birthing platform where nationals can come to the website, get all the info they need, and then actually take courses, get certified. And then as nationals become certified, be able to interface with that and also certify themselves. So, and, to assist with dissertation work, because there's so many different topics to deal with in birth, from, breastfeeding to postpartum, doulas, midwives, prenatal care, conception. There's so many different aspects of nutrition. So to really build out like basically a birthing library. So we have a full area of resources for that. So that's probably like the big project that I want to get going. So again, I will be posting about my interest meeting coming up. And first meeting will just be kind of open to talk about the overall vision, and then we can start getting down and pinpointing more precise roles and how different members will be able to assist based on what skill sets you actually have. So reach out to me, Naima shiamaru@gmail.com if you're interested. I did send an email already to those who did express interest, but feel free to send an email in the meantime. And if you have any questions or any other ideas about the birth and death ministry, then let me know.
Immaculate. You just keep stopping before the bell. You go, girl. Go, girl. All right, questions. Concerns about birth, deaths, forensics, or any other of the ministers that just came up. Quick questions. Questions will come back to the plural later, but if it's a quick question, jump out. You got something, Michael? All right, that looked like a mistake. All right, quick time check. We were trying to get it done in around 10. So we don't have y'all here longer than 2.5 hours, but we only got about 2 more sections to go and a couple more ministers. So we'll probably be around about 10:15 at the latest. Hopefully. So we're gonna go ahead and go with Minister Fatima. You got the floor, sister. You on mute if you're talking.
Thank you.
No problem.
I don't have anything as far as committees yet at this time. There will be an interest meeting on Thursday, excuse me, this Thursday at 7 o'clock. I'll be posting about that after we finish here. And if anyone has any interest in the economics and engineering, please reach out to me. My email is fatimashali@gmail.com. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Thank you.
All right. Make sure that if you got any questions or concerns for that ministry, I know Fatima, in my meeting, there was a lot of talk around cryptocurrency. What is our plan around cryptocurrency? I'm interested myself with the crypto and the Bitcoin on the technology side of things. So if there is some collaboration, we can do that together, then wonderful. But I do know some of you have reached out, showed some interest. So the sister is building, and I'm interested in collaborating as well. So just make sure you continue to put forth that effort and hold us accountable to get it started.
Okay, thank you.
No problem, sister. Real quick, before we move to somebody else, Minister Akil has not been able to be represented, so let's make sure we do him well since he wasn't able to show. He is the Minister of Civics, Government, and Corporations. He's a hardworking brother, ambitious brother, he states, who takes pride in being a team player. And I can double down that he is a pretty good team player. Even if he missed, he makes sure he reaches out, he makes sure he communicates weekly, no matter what is going on. I plan to assist each ministry as needed to help enhance our nation. I have experience in facility management, tourism, and visitor services, as well as public space management. I plan to build my ministry as a foundational base where nationals and non-nationals can learn civics, commerce, as it relates to honor and its governance. So I'm not sure when he is planning on doing his meeting as well, but please, if you're interested in civics, etc., then we want to make sure that we get them and start meeting summary with AI companion is requesting you start. That's what I'll be looking for, D. So I love when people take the initiative and just do stuff. I love you, brother. Thank you, brother. So we do already got one going, but again, I appreciate your initiative, and we'll make sure we get the notes out to those who need it. We got Rashad, we got Yashiya, we got Yogi. Did you go yet?
No, sir, I didn't.
Huh?
No, sir, I didn't yet.
All right, we got Minister Yogi, then Minister Manuel Bay. 3 minutes starts now.
Yes, sir. Got. Can you click the interest meeting link? Right through that. Again? That's weird. I'm sorry, brother. Second.
Good, good. I'm gonna start your 3 minutes once we get there.
Yes, sir.
We just want to make sure our people don't get tired from sitting here with us for super long hours.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Make sure all of y'all get heard with the ample time, but we're doing well so far. No pressure. But let me know when you clicked it so I can just refresh.
Yes, sir. Did I put it?
Minister Manny Bay, you still with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, bet. You are next. I'm gonna finish. I may call on you for a little bit of help with the conflict area, but you know, just giving you a heads up now so we can keep moving. Just to double down, I don't like have no concerns or questions. It's all there. Just you're the jurist of the board, so give you a word. While we waiting to get access to that, actually, Brother Manny Bay, are you actually ready to discuss your committee?
Yeah, I could go ahead now.
All right, go ahead and go.
As Brother Wasak mentioned earlier, I know we're working to do something together as far as like with the committees, because both our ministries pretty much align, you know, with the cultural aspect, you know, for our people. As far as like looking to do like maybe some bills in line of work, anything that pretty much deals with like the community action and families, like, you know, as far as like dealing with like affordable housing, food security programs, healthcare access, job training and employment programs, youth programs and education, things like that. You know, we have to work on first really establishing and setting our jurisdiction, as well as, you know, making sure we get the adequate funding, you know, to get these programs started so we can allocate the funds for them. So, you know, that's like more like long term down the line to get to. We got to really establish, you know, jurisdictions all throughout the country, and then set up these programs once we get the funding. And I know some of the one of the things that we look into is to join the Bureau of Indian Affairs, so we could get funding from the federal government and allocate that to all of our ministries, on an as needed basis, so we could get these programs and systems up and running. So those are the things that's more, as far as like with my ministry, with our ministry, with community and community action, that's what we're gonna need, more so the systems in place for the funding and jurisdictions. But at the moment, for now, it's working with the other ministries, communicating, things that we can do for the community as far as like with education, psychology, economics, group economics, arts and culture, and anything that has to deal with community relations as far as like nation building. So we got to get this going. We're going to need more people, that's really committed, just as you all are. And it's a strength in numbers. So, between getting the members involved of the tribe and getting the funds, then we could go on to the next level and getting these programs established, disaster relief programs, things like that. So that's like in the future, more so later in the future set plans, unless things really kick going, within the next year or two. But I anticipate probably in the next 2 to 5 years or so that we can really get going on that. That's all I got for now. And then, yeah, of course, we got the website up. So, this is, we put general information on here, and anyone within the tribe has any programs or things, events that they're working on that they want to put on the website, you can always reach out to me, and Brother Wazak at ARNA community culture at gmail.com. That's our email right there. Just reach out to us, and we could get something on the website, as far as like for marketing and things like that.
Right, appreciate you, big dog. Make sure that you are reaching out to him in the shop with that particular committee. Again, there will be a lot of collaboration within that committee. So if you're interested in both of them, then you'll be able to get that scratch fixed. When the brother asked about internal communication and questions between nationals, is that what the hotline is for? Yeah, the hotline does serve for that purpose, but we do. I think what I got from him was that we want to centralize some of this stuff only for nationals. And even though that is one line, there's only like contact to the chief executive. There's no national communication as well, or just like our own platform for updates, which an app will suffice. That's a little bit more in my department. I didn't say nothing then, but I didn't say nothing then because it's on my document, so I'm just going to wait to the time. But yes, their app would serve that greatly, or another platform that we can find on as far as the platform is concerned. There's clouds that's out there that can assist us in that regard. But yeah, I think he just was talking a little bit more of national internal type of communication level that we can protect as well and don't be in multiple places. Looks like Naima has a hand.
I just had a question real quick for Minister Manuel Bay. When it comes to the family part of your ministry, do you see any legislation related to family in any way? Just curious.
Yeah, I'm currently doing like some brainstorming on that, seeing on some things with marriage. I know there was something set in place. So, but if anyone has any suggestions or whatever, I'm open to it, and we could get on a meeting, and I'll jot some notes down, and we could get something going.
All right, Yogi, you up?
Yes, sir, guy. You can freshen now too. That way it's showing.
For the damage they caused.
All right, great. All right, so with the cosmology committee, of course, we're looking for not just psychologists or cosmologists. We're also looking for people with various skills who can help us basically, one, spread more of the language of our system. For instance, when it comes to the 12 polarities, we don't use the zodiac language because we know it is a misnomer and inaccurate when it comes to the science portion of cosmology. Also looking for just people who can help push further the department as far as different divination systems, psychology practices, and things of that nature too as well. Can you scroll down some, brother?
You or a loved one were incarcerated at an Illinois youth.
Yes, sir. Right there. So I'm gonna jump to number 3. So one, looking for, so this is for just if you're not certified cosmologist or psychologist or anything of that nature, like I say, we're still looking for people with various skills. So one, educators and curriculum developers. So, and the reason being we are even looking for various people, understanding cosmology, one is the 12th polarity, it's the intergumentary skin, and it covers everything, all of the other polarities. And you hear it within everybody, every minister that went, like Brother Washak, who passed his bill with the national instruments of the 4 elements: air, fire, water, and earth. And so we're looking for people with these different various skills so we can cover everything, you know what I mean? So educators and curriculum developers, alongside with the Ministry of Technology too, because we want to start to incorporate a lot of the tech within the cosmology field so we can start to get the information out better and quicker as well. Just for example, working on an app. We need an app because from my experience of doing birth chart readings, yearly readings, weekly readings, anything of that nature. Now, typically, I try to go for an hour long, client to client. But, an aspect, it really takes me 4 hours, just to complete one reading for a person. And of course, that's not idle for, business-wise. And so we want to develop an app so we can get out as much information as possible and quick to, our nationals in honor. So they could, learn their year, their week, or even themselves, all the way and, have it there without having to always just come back, you know what I mean? Can you scroll down some? Researchers and scholars. So
1 minute, brother.
Gotcha. So looking for people who are great at, research, researching, especially other, systems when it comes to psychology, cosmology, divination, things of that nature, studying people like Pascal Beverly Randolph, you know what I mean? Ebe Hayeen, who's a Muslim scientist, just studying various people so we can incorporate it, all within this the system and start to really build it out. Working with like the Ministry of Arts and Culture. Going back to Brother Job Briggs when he talked about the propaganda as far as being pushed through media. Now we can run psychological experiments throughout media as well, what I call functional manipulation in a sense, and getting people to recognize, our indigenous system and paradigm, through various techniques that we can use, through music, through TV, all these things, and even creating events for ourselves. One example is, of course, in a funny way, you know, people always talk about a show like The Simpsons. You know, they predict this, they predict that, etc. But what it really is, they got a million people who focus on something, and then of course we create a theory around it, and then our focus excites the light field, and now it's easier for events to occur. And so, you know, collaborating with the Ministry of Arts and Culture and Communication, you know, to facilitate those psychological tools and the cosmology rhythms, so we could even create events for ourselves. We could excite the light field ourselves through means of media, music, TV, movies, etc. And so, yeah, we're looking for, you know, if you want to join the committee, you know, I mean, you can, you know, contact me at walkworld7@gmail.com. We're still looking for people. And like I said, you don't have to be, you know, a cosmologist or psychologist. You know, list the skills that you do have, because, you know, it's the 12th system, and we could and need to basically collaborate with everyone we can and really, you know, get this, you know, movement going even more. That's my time. I think that's
Yes, yes, it is, for sure. Great job, brother. Great job. Questions for cosmology or family, community action? Yogi, are you able to answer this question without going 10 minutes? What's the essential difference between cosmology, spirituality, deviation? Can we have a...
I could do it. I could do it. Yeah, I could do it. Wait, I could do it in a minute.
Yeah.
Just put it simple. Cosmology is the study of the cosmos, the study of the universe, and the various movements of the planets. Spirituality, how I break it down, spirit is air, it's oxygen, it's related to the air element. And so air element is based on knowledge. Knowledge, and the best way to understand spirituality are based on nature, which is the 4 elements. So the best way to increase your spirituality is having knowledge of the nature. Divination is the various tools that we can use. People used to use dice, people use cards, you know, tarot, you know, lucid dreaming methods, dreaming methods. Those are like divination tools. So people used to throw a stick, it flip, you know, different tools. Cultural values, he says psychology. Psychology is the study of the mind. Sociology, the study of the rhythm amongst a culture. You know, we can study, you know, all right, this culture, you know, more of these birthdays, they isolated and energetic, they social and energetic. Mythology, like Greek mythology and things of that nature. But you can disseminate a lot of within that myth, a lot of the science, or, you know, the point of view of the author, you know, if you could pull something out. But that's why we need researchers too. I hope that answered the question.
And if we need a little bit more time or get a little bit more in depth, let's make sure we hit our brother up at Block World 7. We're going to also show the link. Make sure that you are filling out the Ministerial Congress Committee form, and you reaching out. Too often in ARNA, we wait till we online with Ali to blow up in emotion and want to talk, and blow up in emotion and want to get it all out. So if you never heard me get into this spiel before, you're going to hear it from me 1,000 times. Collaborate with your brothers and sisters. Don't get into this space and think that this is the space to be the smartest on the nation. This ain't that space. You can do that at another time. Make sure you do build with these people. So if you don't get your questions in now, make sure you reach out. Which we are going to go through a full question and answer session. Great work, brother Yogi. Yes, amazing work. Yes, yes, yes. Have a lot of admin questions. All right, brother, well, we're gonna be here today. Make sure you write them in, get them in while you can. We ain't gonna push them to the side. I just want to make sure that we understand that we gotta collaborate. All right, let's move. Did I miss any ministers? All right, bet. Yogi, you got your phone on you? Can you put a timer for 3 minutes for me?
Yes, sir, God, I got you. All right, let me know when to start it, brother.
You can start it now. I ain't gonna be 2.5. Bet. All right. Ministry of Technology and Science. I already told y'all what the ideas was. I'm just gonna keep it straight to these bullet points. Key focus areas: policy development for implementing off-grid technologies, energy, water, shelter, arms. Coordination with the Ministry of Communications, MOC, to develop communication systems, apps, servers. We spoke about that. I won't repeat it. You know how to get in touch with me. Educational development in science and tech for youth, including annual camps and for youth adults. Introduction to Indigenous patent process. We already have a patent process. How do we evolve it? How do we create mandates? How do we can continue to protect our actual creations? How do we bring people who already have creations into our fold? So we're not trying to recreate the model, we're just trying to add on to it as well. Topics of discussions, we already really discussed those various different things. What we got a little bit more in depth in my meeting about is exactly where I could use some of that help, trainings that I've already done as far as science and technology is concerned, and then the nuts and bolts. If you join my group, I broke it down into 4 years, key responsibilities. There's defense and technology that we didn't talk about, emergency preparedness, and building up our own guns and technology in that regard. So there's going to be a lot of various different roles. We need to build our own science and technology camps as well. So if you are somebody who did not make this meeting, please reach out to me and I would love to join you onto this committee and get you rolling. Where I'm at, Yogi.
You got a minute, brother.
Ooh, please. There go the document right there. Y'all can take a look at the document as well. And questions are also welcome. My email is here. The next meeting will be the 3rd week of January or the 2nd week, unless something changed. But right now, I'm aiming for the 3rd week of January. But this is the email for the ministry. Please get in touch with me if you need any assistance. All right, we are going to move along to the next section so that we can get you all back to your families. Email. Because I do want to hear from you all. We've kind of talked you into the bid at this point. All right, addressing conflicts in honor. Let's get to it. Now, I've heard multiple things. There's different ways to handle various different conversations. The first thing that I want to say is, this is what you have a jurist for. When you have injury, the #1 reason that you want to have somebody in your back pocket is somebody who can provide remedy. Within honor, that person is your jurist, no matter the issue. If you have a problem with your particular jurist, we have a list of jurists on our main website. So there's no excuse for that either. But we have 2 forms that we want to start with. First, we have jurist complaints. If I have a problem with my specific jurors, I use this one, which will take me to the official jurist complaint form. Again, this is with my Indigenous lawyer. You're going to list what the issue was. You need to add any information. If it's not specific to these things, do that. But what we don't, and if you need to have it expedited, then do that as well. But what we don't want is a lack of trust being built or people feeling like they don't have anywhere to turn, and you do. Now, this is another thing. The ARNA Ministerial Congress has 12 ministries that deal with 12 very different issues. You can reach out to the minister of any of those areas based off of your concern. You got a family issue, we got family and community action. You got technology issue, we got technology and science. You have an issue with learning, or you're having issue with philosophy, strategy, whatever the case may be. We have an education department for those things. So you don't only have the jurors, but understand this is if you need remedy or have been injured. The second link is about all other complaints. Now, I've seen some things in the tribe of like, what happens if a national injures a national? Again, you start with your jurors. However, this form says name of servicer who breached you, i.e. servicer, honor, officer, government official, cosmologist, indigenous doctor, genealogist. This is the key, etc. We all old enough here to understand what etc. means. That's where any other national or anybody else will fall into play. Now we have another option as far as the Constitution is concerned, and some of you may have seen these things expressed within the Facebook group. That's going to be handed down from your jurors. We didn't really want to deal with that in our house today because we wanted to stick with things that we had jurisdiction with or over. But here, you can still be heard in this etc. category by stating the national took my hairline back when cutting me at the summit. If you feel that's fight worthy, be clear. It's fight worthy for me. I don't play about my hairline or my hair. I don't let nobody do that. So if that's you, be clear. But we don't want to continue to regurgitate that we don't have access to help and feel like people are being excluded from getting it. But you do want to use these other websites and emails. Reach out to us. I have talked to multiple nationals who have been injured, rather through services, national to national, or government officials. And we've been able to get remedy. Whether each side agree or not, it ended better than it started. And it was made public in that regard. And trust was built by having the opportunity to speak on both sides. So I just want to throw that out there to say, you have a problem, don't seclude yourself. Go to the proper channels and get help. Any questions on these two forms so far? And what are they for? As you see here, it says, if you have a complaint against a jurist, do not fill this out. We already used the other document. This. All right, I don't see any questions. So check. Admin question, where? All right, we'll come back to that. All right, so again, addressing conflicts. Those are your two areas as a national, as a servicer, as a jurist that you want to deal with. If you're confused, go directly to your jurors, express your issue, and we'll follow up that way, or go to the proper area on the ARNA Ministerial government. As far as how to know if you are injured or not, in ARNA, because we focus on civics, you need to be basing your issue off of one of these areas. The 42 laws of Ma'at, the general orders, the Constitution itself. And there's titles under each ministry. And honestly, all ministries don't have them just yet. However, that's why we are playing these roles. We need to build them. But you should be following this process. Hey, Brother Bolon, he did something to me I'm unhappy about. What do? You start with these things up here, but you also define it by going to the 42 laws of Ma'at, general orders, Constitution, and those titles I was speaking in reference to. This is the Constitution page. Where I want you to focus is the Constitution and Law tab, you'll see that we have a title for each house of government. But if you click on the first one, it's nothing there. If you click on this one, it's nothing there. If you click on mine, it's nothing there. So you can see that some of these ministries need to build what their statutes will be. But Chief been around for some time already building out law and justice and health. So if you go to health, the Ministry of Health has AMA statutes already. So if a doctor has hurt you or a servicer has hurt you or whatever the case may be, you want to come here to check these mandates along with the things we said before. Ministers, I've been refraining from saying this. If you are a minister of government and you have a question to another minister or towards the process, hold it for the question and answer area. We can handle our questions and answers at any time. Let's just get through this and get their questions.
Hey, Chief Minister.
Unless Jael, was there something to add about this?
Yeah, it was something to add to this. Do you mind? I've had a repetitive request from nationals on like where to find these links to submit complaints at. So do you mind just, while you're on the site, navigating to where these links that nationals can submit their, complaint or to escalate their conflict?
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you, God.
No problem, brother. All right, family. So the links are on the National Jurist Society site. Or again, follow your first two bullet points. Make sure you reach out to your jurist. They will get them directly to you. However, if you come to the website, you will be able to find the NJS complaint on the tab and click it there. And it will bring up the actual document for you. Now, this is the NJS complaint form. So this is any general complaint. Once you click on that form, you see that it opens you up to the actual link. And if it's a jurist complaint, then you click the link there. Was that clear, Jael?
Yes, sir. That was crystal clear. And then was there another location?
Nope. You need to be going to NJS.
Okay. Awesome.
It may be a tab up here, but I will go to NJS to stick with.
Just keep it simple.
Yeah, keep it simple and you won't have any confusion. And if you do have confusion, you just need to go to the link on the website and contact either somebody part of NJS specifically, or start with your jurors.
It's in the chat.
All right, continue.
Actually, one more thing, Chief Minister. One more thing to acknowledge as far as conflict resolution culture within our society, within our nation, in our community, and amongst each other as family members, tribal members. We do have one guideline of protocol that is in the guideline that is a part of our actual protocol manual.
Yeah, I literally just said that. I just said that we're not touching that because I was asked to allow the jurists to keep jurisdiction over that. I reached out questions to have them ask first, and essentially they said to stay away from that. My statement was, it is in the protocol manual. They may have seen it on the Facebook page already, but just focusing on what we have jurisdiction on.
Okay, my bad. I missed that.
they can be advised how to do that other process through that jurist, as that's what I was advised to say.
Word. Thank you.
Anybody else, things to add or clarify as far as these two links? It's 10:22, y'all. I'm trying to get y'all in here. My fault. As far as dues are concerned, dues and hardships, here are the links. These links, and the links tell you where these things are. So arnagovernment.org, if you have hardship, you click on the hardship link. It's taking you to our main website. This is the tab, monthly dues / hardship. So you come here for both. Well, essentially you come here really for just the hardship. You click on the store and products and services to get to the actual link to make your payment. But everything is listed here for you on the website by those tags, monthly hardship. You got the dues. I already showed it to you there, but just click on it real quick. National Annual Tribal Dues 360. A lot of times when you do this here, it'll say that it's sold out. Don't worry. That's why Chief has the link in post online that you should be making the payment through Zelle or possibly Cash App and keeping your receipts. So that's why you want to make sure you are on the Facebook group and you have access to these things. Granted, yes, we do want to have an app down the road and things of that nature, but as a national of ARNA now, we got to stop the complaints and get in alignment with what has already been created, right? I got too many messages today about how do I join the Zoom today from the actual post. That lets me know a lot of times that what Chief is saying is just true. People just flat not reading, right? Because it's literally right there. So we got to get better as nationals. These are the way we do this. We touch these things, we read these things. We ask our other nationals that are around, but these things are available. Any questions about dues, hardships? Referendum. Referendum gives you the opportunity as a national to be able to recommend any bills that you want to see get done. So you don't have to wait until you are elected. You can put your information here, your function, your full name. You can choose what ministry that this bill will be focused on. So Yashiyahu was speaking earlier about this. You could just click on education and you can go ahead and answer these prompts and then you can submit it. And then someone will reach out to you and possibly someone will sponsor your actual bill, just like they do in the foreign venue. So if you ever have any ideas as far as these are concerned, come here, put them in. Anytime you see Chief say do a referendum, come here, put it in. Yes, sir, Brother Mag. Well, glad this brother was able to add the nature book and help you, man. I'm gonna go over those chat joints too at some point. All right, referendum. That's out the way. On the ball, you already know that the on the ball is coming up. So I'm not going to regurgitate too much about that. I'm just going to put the link here, make sure that you have it. Make sure that you know that anytime that we are hosting events for the tribe, come to arnaevents.org, and this is where you'll be able to get access to said information. All right, questions or concerns or anything to add as far as addressing conflicts before we move on to Q&A. Addressing conflicts or pathways to being a successful national. Before I go to one of the ministers that I meet with every 2 weeks and talk to almost once every day. Anybody that's on here that has a question? All right, Jael, you up.
Appreciate you, Chief Minister. I just wanted to acknowledge a recurring conflict that tends to come up for most nationals, not all, but some, which is the question about dues and hardships. And the one thing that I wanted to acknowledge for members prospecting to join ARNA and those nationals who are participating now is that it's important that we make the responsible and conscious effort to budget as best we can so that when we have dues period open to be submitted, that as a national you can contribute into running the government, because how we're set up on our fiscal budget year is that we're not able to budget for the upcoming year until we actually have dues collected, from that the end of the fiscal period, to go into the next one. So, I've had questions from nationals over the years about, why don't we just allow like a payment plan every month, and which we do. That's the hardship. But the point is on an emphasis for us to become more financially responsible and budgeting. And also, Chief could be making an altar call, or not an altar call, a collection call every month for dues. But like, is that the type of culture and mindset and perception and behavior that we want to create? It's not. It's one that's more, prefrontal cortex driven and responsible. So I just wanted to encourage nationals, including myself. This is my first year actually going on the financial hardship dues submission, but it dawned on me like, dang, I need to be more responsible so that I can contribute, so that we can have a budget for the upcoming year that we're preparing for. And y'all should be feeling that same conviction too, and responsibility, here participating in your own government. That's all I had to say. I yield.
Thank you. Great points as well. Anybody else? Questions, concerns? Don't be worried. And again, you have places to reach out to, but don't be all family here, y'all. Too often I hear people be like, well, I don't want to ask a question because I don't want to be reprimanded, or I don't want to be pushed out of the tribe, or you don't want to be laughed at. Listen, this is not that space. This is, I hate when people like this is a safe space. Listen, this is a civil space. I can't tell you how safe it is, but we are civil people, and you have the right to speak here. So let's get it out while we can and get you some help if you need it. If not, I feel like I'm in a good spot of on the nationals that know where things are, that know how to collaborate with their people, and we about to get rolling. Okay, so what I'm going to do really quickly is MC website. All right, couple updates. We got the MC website coming up very soon. So keep a lookout for the updated address for that MC website. It's been great to be able to have a full government, so that's amazing to be able to interact with these things. So that will be up soon. If you did not get your question out tonight, or you needed some more time to meditate on your question, then please send it to us at ARNA Ministerial Congress at gmail.com. Again, here is our Gmail. Please follow us. Everybody here, follow us on Instagram and YouTube. The more people that you are interacting with within the tribe will allow you to make sure you're not missing any meetings or opportunities, dues, trips, benefits, whatever the case may be. So the more government actual areas that you have to follow, the better. And share things when you see them. Interaction. even if it's another national, that's on this last page, not specifically, but it is something I wanted to bring up. We are now putting forth the effort to evolve the government, and the government has to go beyond Ali. So those things look like pushing Ja Bricks music. Those things look like pushing Sheedy music. I think it was a wonderful thing that he made our rites of passage, but our preamble into a song, right? We got people who build clothes. We got people who just smart and they talk and they do great things. We got people that's just cute, that's in the tribe, right? Whatever the case may be, what I'm saying is share our stuff, share each other things, because the more that we become collaborative, the more the world see us and the work that we're doing. We're becoming the standard for Indigenous lifestyle. So that's really big. Let's make sure that we are respecting each other as ministers, as nationals, in this government, and more importantly, as a tribe. There's 7 other things here. I'm going to give, it didn't seem like there was any more questions, so I'm going to pull up the link for the committees to make sure that if you want to sign that, you have the option to do it. And I want to give each minister 30 seconds to say thank you and appreciate you all and give you their contact again. And we'll be done for the day. If you want to come off of the video, not video, but the mute, and say what's up, let us know your name, what region you're in, and what committees you are interested in. That's all we're asking for today. We'll be done and meeting will be adjourned. Let's start with Minister Naima and Fatima, and then we'll go down the line of brothers with our thank yous, good nights, contact, and then we'll shift to them.
All right, peace family. Thank you for everyone who stayed on for this very important but a little bit long meeting. I'm excited that we had our first town hall as a Congress. We have come a long way in our progression, and I'm very proud of all of us in that effort. And I'm excited for what is to come. And it's been a great build with each other tonight. Again, if you need to reach me, I am Naima Shiamaru at gmail.com. And thank you again, and I'll talk to you all soon. Peace.
Minister Fatima, you up if you still here.
Muted. Okay, sorry about that. Thank you everyone for your time. We are excited and glad that you all could participate. Again, I am the Minister of Economics and Engineering. There will be an interest meeting this Thursday, December 12th at 7 o'clock. And that's been posted in the Facebook group. And if you have any questions or concerns, I am eager to elevate the ministry and to get as much assistance and building as we can. And if you need to reach me, my email is fatimashiali@gmail.com. Also, I think I've neglected to mention, I'm in Region 2. I live part-time in North Carolina and part-time in DC as well. So if you need to reach me, my email is fatimashiali@gmail.com. Thank you.
The congressional committee interest form that you can see on the page right here just got shared in the chat. So if you are here and you have not been able to complete what committee you are interested in, please do that and knock it out tonight. That way we can have your information. We don't gotta wait for the main executive area to contact you about these things. We don't have access to that. So the more responses that we get here, the more we can personally contact you. Let's keep rolling, ministers.
Greetings. This is Minister Yeshayahu. I just wanted to let everybody know, thank you for attending. The ministers, we all have worked hard over the years together, and we are working with some amazing people. I just want to say that the committees is going to take all the ministries to the next level where we will be impacted. by financial wealth and growth. Like if anybody do any of the cosmology readings, they'll let you know 2025 is a very transitional year. And I also wanted to mention that we just collaborated with Chief. He'll be sponsoring a party bus that we've just it'll be like an extension to sort of celebrate the ministers and their bills. And I just wanted to put that out there. 2 days we'll have the tickets on Eventbrite. So look forward to that on social media. We'll be advertising it. But I just wanted to say thank you everybody for attending, and arrows up, arrows up.
Any other good brothers want to hop in?
Peace, family. This is Brother with shock. Thank you guys for coming in on this meeting. Kind of been checking the participant level this whole time. A lot of what we talked about in our Congress meeting is how much we can get the people to participate. And it was good to see, it was a good participation this whole time. I'm glad you all stayed on. Again, you can reach me at my email, washakali08@gmail.com. This first 2 years has been, building for us, kind of figuring out exactly how we want to do it, when we want to do it. And so these next 2 years, like you said, especially with 2025, we got a lot of stuff that we're supposed to be rolling out. Come to the Ramadan ball. And if you can't be there, join us on our live stream when we introduce the first sporting bout. And yeah, thank you.
Peace,
All
family.
right. Oh, go ahead.
I appreciate you, Brother Jael here. Also, just wanted to acknowledge everybody's participation. Proud of y'all, proud of us as a people, coming back into alignment with our God-given nature here and just paying attention to the right things. Definitely excited to just grow with y'all from this stage and this point, just being a national, being a government official and whatnot. And so we encourage y'all to, as we now have more resources, like using this as a platform, feeling comfortable to share the activity and the progression of this growing government, and the government being the people. So anybody that would like to follow up with me, you can shoot me an email at obatalajael.com, and definitely look forward to getting busy with you in the committee meetings going forward for our ministries. I yield the floor.
He means platonically. It's a weird word out there right now. He does not want to get busy with me with any other type of way. We have no Jay-Z's or physics or any of that type of stuff going on around it. That was a funny job. You can smile. Anybody else? Let's jump out there. Let's not wait to say anything.
Yeah, it is this Minister Jahi. I just want to thank all y'all for y'all participation. Understand that every last person on here voice matter, not just our voice. You know what I'm saying? We here for y'all. We here to amplify whatever y'all got going on. We here to amplify whatever ideas that y'all want to bring to the table. Understand that y'all are part of something special, and our participation in this thing is what's going to make it what it is. About 200 years ago, they created the United States government, and it was just a small little village. And now look what they was able to create. You know what I'm saying? So we basically moving in that same direction. And everybody who's a part of this right now is going to be a part of history in the long run. Be the change you want to see. I'm gonna be the change I want to see. We all gonna be the change we want to see. And as long as we participate in this thing and build it collectively, we could be unstoppable. If you want to reach out to me, it's jobbricks with a Z at gmail.com. Come holla at me. Let's build up this debate league. Let's build up this communication ministry, and let's show the world what we got to offer.
Peace family, Minister Yogi. Want to thank everyone for attending the town hall meeting. It's been great these 2 years building with the ministers, working in teams, working with other nationals too, working in those teams. And so, it's great to be a part of honoring this Indigenous movement. And so let's continue to build this greatness.
All right, so let's go ahead and do one collective thing so that we can be a wrap and just allow you all who still have time to want to rap with people the time to do that. But let's collaboratively close the recording with all ARNA nationals taking part in the preamble. It would be beautiful if you can come off of mute and be heard. That would be absolutely beautiful, family. I'm gonna put this up. Is the preamble big enough for y'all to see it?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, bet. So how we like to do this is have all hearts and minds cleared. We haven't determined exactly how honor is really going to be like enacting our actual preamble. So that's something to think about out there. But just the best thing to do is all minds, hearts, and clear. Be respectful. If you don't want to put your head down and hand up, whatever, you don't have to. Just be respectful as we do our preamble. And this is covering.
Peace Minister, the screen is covered. You covered it.
Give me a
Oh,
second.
okay, cool.
Got you. All right, y'all ready? Jael, you want to lead us into it with we the people?
Okay, cool. All right, 3, 2, 1. We the people of the Aboriginal
Republic of North America,
asserting
our natural Aboriginal rights as the oldest recorded Aboriginal Indigenous peoples of America, consisting of an Aboriginal Union of Indigenous peoples living in accord with natural law, the law of our ancestors, do hereby recognize all nationals of the Aboriginal Republic of North America as unified community, establish our divine right to self-rule,
a
a
common
common defense of our nation, a complete unified will progress and prosperity by and for our people, establish justice by way of natural law, equality,
and complete autonomy
and
as a
complete
nation.
autonomy as a nation.
One nationality,
One
one
name.
name, one destiny.
Yes, sir. Great job, man. Great job. Great job. Great job. Great job. Great job. I'm gonna cut this record off. And if you are still on the line and you are national, please come off of mute, introduce your name, last name, what region you're in, and we thank you for coming. And the meeting is officially adjourned. Bye.
I'm Michael L. Meta. I'm from Chicago area.
Pleasure to meet you, fam.
Peace, God.
What's up, Mike? What's up, everyone? This is Wahali Casimir, also here from Chicago. I appreciate this meeting. I'm excited to see what we're doing. And yeah, I'm just, and also my own participation in it. I'm making more effort this year to be more active in just the different ministries that we have and just being more intentional about helping build ARNA up. So I'm grateful.
Pleasure to meet you, God.
Peace, everybody. Peace, everybody. This is Adisa Amarushi. I am working with the great minister, Yashiyahu, in the education department. Just want to make myself known. Hi, everybody. Hi, Yakazu.